Hey everyone, welcome back to Adobe Live. My name is Annika and I'm your host today. Thank you so much for being here on this Wednesday afternoon with us, wherever you're joining us from. Well, it may not be afternoon for you, it might just be evening or morning, I don't know, 4 a.m. or something if you're in India. But thanks again for being here. If you are joining us on Behance or on YouTube, there is a live chat. So make sure to say hi in the chat. And if you have any questions for Anjali, who's also our guest today, hi, Anjali Viramgama. Thank you for being here with us. How are you today?
Hi, Annika. Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great and I'm really excited for this live.
Yeah, what do we have in mind today? Give us a little bit intro of who you are and what do we have planned for today?
Yeah, so my name is Anjali Viramgama, and I am a software engineer as well as a content creator. And I'm also an Adobe Express ambassador. So, what I had in mind today was going over all the features of Express that I use on a day to day basis to make content creation really easy for me. One thing that I've seen is with my followers when I share about Express, in general, a lot of them are skeptical because they have this theory that Adobe is for professionals, so it must be really hard to use, but that is not the case. Adobe is also for newbies and people who have zero experience with editing, and I plan on showing all the features that are extremely easy to use. And in addition to that, I want to talk about content creation as a side hustle. So when you have something as a side hustle, typically you don't spend a lot of time on it. That's where Express comes in. And I'm also going to talk about, the financial aspects of it, the amount of time it takes to do everything in general, and how to batch create and publish with automation on.
That's pretty cool. I love that. It sounds like a jam packed stream. So, why don't
Yeah.
we get started? I want to say hi to Chad before we jump in. We have
Mhm.
a few friends in chat. Hey, Sam, Cody. We have Anna. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll have my eyes peeled to the chat and give any questions to Anjali for the future, for the next 1 hour. Take it away, Anjali. Let's dive into it.
Yeah, thanks, Annika. So hi everyone, let's get started. I have a PowerPoint here for you, and then I'm gonna go over all the little processes that I go through live on Express. So for the first slide, basically, it's an intro. Like I said, I'm a software engineer, so I code for a living. I'm also a career coach, which is related to the content that I create. So I create content on tech, education, and basically helping international students getting jobs and moving abroad for education. So because of that, since my content is centered around that, I also coach people, help them get jobs one-on-one. So as you can see, I have a lot going. So I'm going to break down the content creation process and, like I said, tell you how I'm able to do it quickly. So, how did I start content creation? When I was a student and I was studying computer science, I spent a lot of time, trying out different technologies and experimenting with a lot of things, and I decided to document it. So I started writing it out on medium.com as in the form of blog posts, and I would post those blogs on LinkedIn. And I guess it somehow got a lot of traction, and I started getting a lot of people connecting with me on LinkedIn. So after posting on LinkedIn for a year, I realized that Instagram is pretty cool. It's a lot more fun to be making videos than just textual content. So
Mhm.
I also started posting on Instagram. And again, it's the same niche. I talk about tech, education, and travel. So that's how I started content creation.
That's pretty cool. I see the schedule a call with me button there on the
Yeah.
LinkedIn screenshot, and I wonder why I haven't added that. So we're already learning something. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty helpful. Um, okay. So, perks of content creation, I guess just a little bit here to tell you why I love doing what I do. One
Yeah.
is I get to work with brands like Adobe. Like I never imagined I would go live with Adobe, and it's happening right now. So I think that's pretty cool. If you told me a couple years ago that was going to happen, I would be like, whoa, what, really? So I love working with brands. I love meeting cool people. I meet people from all over the world, really, who are creating content similar to mine, and we collaborate online. So that's
Mhm.
also very fun. And of course, there's the side income. And the reason I included the income part here is because when it comes to content creation, the numbers are very vague, right? You don't really know how much you can make. You don't really know how to work with brands, all of that. And when I posted that I was going live with Adobe and sharing about how to get started with content creation, this was the number one question. Like everybody was like, can you tell us exactly how influencers make money and how much can you expect to make if you get started? Is it worth the effort? So definitely covering that too today.
I love it. Yeah, love to see some statistics and actual results that people can actually weigh and see if it's actually something they want to do. Said actually a
Yeah.
lot of times there.
Yeah.
Love it. Frisky and Ayan in the chat, all excited to learn more about it. So love that.
Yeah, thank you. So for the first few tutorials, I'm going to go over my editing process. So the first one, like I said, the first platform for me was LinkedIn. And when I started, I used to make pretty boring posts. Basically, it was a lot of texts about something I learned. I would copy paste the text, post it out. As soon as I found out about Express and how easy it is to make carousels, I started doing that instead. So instead of just dumping information on LinkedIn directly, I dump information on Express. And it's just as easy and way more aesthetic. So let's go through that. Let's go through how to create a carousel with Express.
Let's do it. Just as easy, but way. Wait, what did you say? I thought there was a
Aesthetic.
catch.
It's
That's the
way,
catch line.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Just as
pretty.
easy, but way more aesthetic. Use Adobe Express. I love that. Okay, let's
Yes.
do it.
Yes. So as you can see, I'm here on Express. When you click on the little plus sign, it tells you what you can create. There's a lot of options here. When it comes to a LinkedIn post, I try to create a carousel with the same dimensions as an Instagram post. So I just click on this Instagram post right here.
Yeah.
As you can see, this would bring up, a post-sized template. And there's a lot of options here on the left to choose from. And generally, like I said, I like to do things really quickly. So I just pick one of these to get started. Let's say I want this to be my cover page. Just click on it and it pops up right away. And then you can make all the edits you need over here, change the colors however you like, which I'm going to go through, and that would help you make your content, right? The other thing here is you can also change the size of it. So instead of me just going and saying, okay, give me something that's the size of a post, I can just do a custom size graphic. So then you can give the exact dimensions that you would need here, and that works too. And if you just go through social profile, there's a lot of options here. For example, if you need a profile cover, it's this particular dimension here. So that's pretty useful too. But just to make things easier, I go through the Instagram post way. So I have a template ready for us here today that I'm going to go over. So this is the template that I decided to go with. Now, since today's topic is also, how you can get started with content creation, let's create a carousel on how you can get brand deals. So first of all, I want to make a post that teaches people how they can get brand deals as an influencer. And this was the template that I directly got from the templates here. Now, all I need to do is double click on this text to change it. So it is how to, and then instead of this, I'm going to say get brand deals as an influencer. And you can see how easy it is to just type it in and you're done, right?
Yeah.
Similarly, instead of this handle, I'm going to put my handle here. So I'm just going to say Anjali.Gama.
I love that it said hello world there. Did you change that or was that by default? You changed that, didn't you?
Yes, of course. I'm a programmer. I'm going to start with hello world.
I love that. That said, if you guys have any questions about career change or content creation or using Adobe Express in a side hustle, make sure to put them in the chat. We are here to answer them.
Yeah, definitely. So as you can see, I could easily change the text here. Now, what if I want to change the colors around here? I can always, double tap on this, completely replace the circle with a different shape. But if I want to just stick to it and just change the colors here, I can go to the colors palette here. And as you can see, there's a lot of options. You have bold, classic, professional. Let's say I want to go with a professional color. I can do this. And it just naturally kind of distributes itself. And this seems like a lot of blues. So I want to use this palette, but I want a different combination. So I can just click on the little shuffle arrow right there. And
Mhm.
that would give me a different color here, as you can see, out of these. So this is very good because sometimes I like to stick to the same design, like the same pattern of a carousel, but I don't want the same boring post, even though it's the same style. So I just change the colors up. I make it yellow instead, or for the next one, I'm just going to make it brown, right?
That's a
So
good tip. Yeah,
yeah,
repurposing your design and not necessarily the content. I think that's pretty
yes.
cool. I don't think a lot of us actually use the color panel, which I think is really intuitive as well.
Yeah. And I think that it's a no-brainer, right? Sometimes when I have to think or come up with a certain color combination, I'm like, what should I take with blue, green? Should I
Yeah,
add a little bit red? Would it be too much? This is just like, it's just there for you, right? And there's
yeah.
so many options. So it's just really simple to click and, it changes
Just a
itself.
little favorite color friend out there to help you in Adobe Express.
Yep, I love it. So those were all the colors, right? Let's say
Hmm.
we just stick to something that's a little more mild.
Hmm.
Um, I think this looks okay. Or I can have the people in the chat help us out if they have a particular choice.
Yeah, maybe you can have them choose a style and then we can
Yeah,
pick a color from them.
yeah.
Yeah,
Let
let
me
us
know
know,
if they
chat.
say something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So while we decide the colors, the other thing I wanted to show you, as you can see, these objects in the background are just like used, like they're just copy pasted from the design assets here. So when I
Hmm.
double click on any of them, I can find out exactly where that person, whoever created this template, got it from,
Yeah.
right? So as you can see, this is a cool toned organic shape. It's green in color. Now let's say I wanted something different. I could just go through all of this. I can just hit replace and I can click on the yellow one and it would just replace it.
That's pretty cool. Have you ever used the filters panel with the shapes or design
Yeah,
assets?
yeah, for sure. Some when I want like organic shapes like this, I just say organic shapes. Sometimes I want a specific color.
Hmm.
Then I can be like red organic shapes. Sometimes I just have particular requirements, like I want cat photos, right?
Yeah.
So I can always do that. And let's say I really like what the person, the artist who made this did, but I want to change like, their colors or something like that. I love that I can see exactly where they got the assets from, right?
Yeah.
So I can always like step back. Like I can go to the organic forms and I get the brown tones here. I get some line work here. So you can like step by step, you can go backwards through whatever the person who was making this went through. And you can, if
Yeah.
I just click on it, it would just come up here. And if I want to replace something, I can click on that shape, hit replace, and then, click on that whatever font that I need here, whatever form I need here, like this one,
Hmm.
and it would just replace that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We have some suggestions in chat. Cody Bear really likes the green and blue, so I guess we're sticking with that.
Okay.
And Anna has a great question in chat. Can video clips be used with Adobe Express? I have video I want to use in small clips.
Yes, you can definitely use it. In fact, there are also templates here that basically have little clips. So I can say something like, I want a template instead of this static stone, I want something that's a video. Let's just say video and see what it comes up with. I guess there's no videos under the design as under the
Yeah, under the organic
yeah,
shape.
yeah, that organic shape. But
Yeah.
overall, like, so this would be like little GIFs. And if you're just talking overall, if Adobe supports video-based content, yes, it does. You can definitely do it. For the purpose of the live today, I only have tutorials for the static content, but
Yeah.
you can definitely explore Express. I use it, for a lot of video editing. And the assets here are the best part. There's a ton of templates and assets that you can directly use. So
Yeah,
yes.
thank you for your question, Anna. Yes, if you go to the landing page, Anna, you'll be able to find from the plus button where we got the Instagram post from, you will be able to find a video button there. So you can upload your own clips in there. I hope that answers your question.
Mhm.
Love it. I love this direction and reusing the assets that we already have within the library.
Yeah. So let's stick to the blue and green, like
Cody
mentioned
for
in
the
the
win.
chat. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go with, guess, this one. Yep. Looks pretty good, but this might be a little different blue than that one. It's a more navy based. This one. Yep, that's better. So this is how we came up with our first design. Now, if you want to reuse this, like I said, you can always click on duplicate page. I love this feature so much. Like literally, like with Carousel, I'm like duplicate, 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 and I get a ton of these pages. And that way I don't have to create everything from scratch. Like I want this same green blue background the whole time. I don't have to do it, right? Similarly, this is another one of assets that I got here from the template. So this was, this really matched this one. So when I got this template, it was right below it. So I was like, okay, this seems like a great template for an information dump, because we have a template for a title cover, and we have a template for, the information dump that happens in a carousel. So as you can see, we have an extra template here. I can delete this one, and that happened because I duplicated it. Now with this page, we can again edit the text here. And then when I hit on duplicate, it's gonna basically create the same page. So let's make some basic changes that we want to actually duplicate. So I want my handle here when it's duplicated. So I'm gonna replace this with my handle. And then I want the same title everywhere. So I'm going to be like, how to get brand deals with, as an influencer.
I love the little call to action there as well.
Yep. So this will be your title. Step one would be sending a message to brands on Instagram.
Do you think that really does work? Just curious from a content creation standpoint, would you actually recommend that? Or is this similar to sending cold emails to clients for work?
It works if you know who to contact, which is going to go in the description box.
Okay.
But basically you want to follow content creators who are in the same niche as you. So for me, I follow a lot of tech content creators, and you want to make sure that they are bigger than you, or at least more active in terms of collaborations. So that way, every time they collaborate with a brand, the brand will be tagged either, in the post, or it'll say paid collaboration with this page, right? Then I can see that, okay, this person is also in tech, I'm in tech. This person has maybe more followers than me because I'm following bigger pages, but they're working with this brand. It should be reasonable for me to just ask that brand too. And then I send a message to that brand. I send them one of my creator resumes that I also created on Express to show them my followers, my monthly reach, and my niche, which is tech. And I am a good fit for them because they are working with creators like me. Sometimes they get back saying, you're too small a creator. Sometimes they get back saying, sure, but we'll be paying you lesser than whatever you're asking for. So you can always negotiate later. But this has to be the easiest way to get brand deals. Like, you just send a DM to a brand that you know is actively working with influencers.
That's a great tip. I feel like a lot of us really struggle with social media in today's world, especially with so many social media platforms. I feel like that is super helpful.
Yeah. So I think especially as a small content creator, I think I got my first brand deal when I had 3,000 followers. So I didn't know at that time that for an account that small, you could get brand deals. So I think the whole cold message thing was really helpful.
Yeah. Love it.
So for the text, we can say follow content creators with the same niche and see who they collaborate with. Send a DM to those brands with your creator portfolio or resume, whatever you prefer.
I love that you are an engineer though at this time, because a lot of us live streaming make spelling mistakes and you're such a breeze at it.
Oh, now please don't jinx it. I don't want to start making typos now.
It's
Yeah.
gonna happen. Well, at least you won't lose your work because with Adobe Express, it's all saved on the cloud. So I guess we're covered
Yeah.
there.
Oh my God, I have horror stories where sometimes when I directly edit on Instagram or something, the app crashes on me.
Yep.
And with Adobe, even if my laptop dies or something like that, I don't even waste like a few seconds of work. It's like instantly saved in the cloud. So that's a lifesaver.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
So,
about 20 minutes in. Just a little time check for everyone watching. So if you have any questions, let us know.
yeah. So once you have this here, you can always go to duplicate page. So you get another page like this. Now all I need to do here is change the title here,
Mhm.
number 2, and then maybe write, whatever the next information dump is. For example, I would say use Apex Drop. So basically, this is an app which is for small creators. And the free asset that I'll share with you guys for this live, it will have links to all of these things that I'm sharing. The reason I
Okay.
love Apex Drop is because it's one of the first apps or first places where I started getting collaborations from, because
Mhm.
its minimum requirements are pretty low. At I think 3,000 or 1,000 followers, you're allowed to join. I'm not sure what exactly. And they only have gifted collabs. So there's no negotiations, there's no pricing. It's just, okay, you get this gift and you have to, make content. And if it's a product you like and you're a small creator, that's really helpful. So yeah, so I can maybe type out here, I can type out what exactly the app is about, how to join it, and the link to it, right? And then I can
Mhm.
hit on duplicate again to make another page. And if I click on this view all pages here, I can see all the pages that I created so far. And once everything is ready, it's very easy to just hit download. I can select all pages. I can select whatever I need. Let's say I want it in PNG. I can just start download here. And this is a new one. You can just directly schedule it. I'll go over it later in the live, but it should be pretty simple. After you download, you can just, go to the app and upload directly or schedule it through Adobe Express. So
Mhm.
that's our carousel tutorial. Let me know if anybody has any questions here.
Yeah. Cody just reiterating that direct editing in IG is a bad idea. She's learned it with crashing so many times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree, Cody. Yeah, we all learned the hard way.
Yeah. Okay, let's dive into it. I think for questions we're good for now. So let's dive into our next one.
Okay, sounds good. So after our carousels, this is another carousel that I created, and this is basically the final product of what today
Mhm.
would have been. For example, you can talk about cold messaging directly. You can talk about the Apex Drop app. Aspire IQ is another website for slightly larger creators, but they have paid collaborations, not just gifted ones. You have Clara for creators. This is an app with thousands of detailed reviews. And basically, what happens here is, let's say I have had a collaboration with a brand and I love the brand. In
Yeah.
this app, I can write with total clarity that this was the brand I worked with. These are the number of followers I have. This is how much they paid me. This is the product they gave me. These were
Mhm.
the requirements. I was asked to make this many posts. They took this many weeks to pay me. It was a great experience. It was a bad experience, all of that. So I really love, this is like Glassdoor, if you guys
Yeah.
know what Glassdoor is, but it's for content creators.
That is cool. I've never heard about this. So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So the reason I love this app is because sometimes if I'm out of collabs, I just go on this app, look for creators who are my size and look
Mhm.
at their reviews. And if they say, oh, I worked with this brand today, I reach out to that brand.
I love the strategy. I love to
Yeah.
hear the behind the scenes of this. Chat,
Yeah.
take notes. This is important.
Yeah.
I also love the transparency part of this
Yeah.
tool as well. So that's cool.
Hmm. I think it has really helped me when I get a brand emailing me saying that they want to work with me and they are
Mhm.
asking for a quote. Pricing is very tricky for an influencer. If you ask for too much, you don't hear back. If you ask for
Yeah.
too less, and then you find out somebody else got paid like thrice of what
Yeah.
what you did. You're sad about it. So
Yeah.
I just go on there and search for that brand And then I see, okay, all of these people have worked with it. Let's look for people with the same number of followers as me. And I see that, oh, this person charged 200, this person charged 500. And they both have the same number of followers as me. I'm going to ask for 500, right? That's going to be my quote.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So a little diversion there from the editing process to just share the whole collaboration
Love all the
techniques.
tips. Yeah. Love all the tips. Paloma in the chat also loving it, saying they share them with their micro influencer cousins. So that's cool.
Yeah. I'm very happy to hear that. So one thing that I mentioned when talking about brand deals was when I DM them, I send them a resume, right? So you can create that too on Adobe Express. In fact, the template that I use here, I'm just going to first go over my template. This is a template that I've also shared as a free asset for those of you who are attending the live. So you will get access to this template. You can just go on Adobe Express, and all you need to do is just change it up as per your needs. So let's say you double click on my name and you just change the name here. So let's say you're Ankita Jen, something like that. So that's going to be your name here, and you want to change your niche. So let's say you're into fashion. You can just type that out here. And I love that it's so easy to just double click and change it up, and then suddenly the whole resume is yours. You can change your about here. You can say, I am a content creator, full-time, and then, blah, 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 the whole description. And you can list out your past collaborations. I think this is really helpful, especially if you have ever worked with brands, because it lets other brands know that you're really active, and if these brands trust you with your work, then you're a good content creator, right? So I really recommend just typing all of these out. But if this is not something that, if you're a new creator, you can just completely change the past collabs. You can write about something else. You can just say something like type of content I create, and then you can add links or samples, or you can add your rates here, saying that, okay, for one post I charge this much, for one story I charge that much. You can have that as a list here. I don't recommend hard coding the costs because, like I said, pay really varies depending on the brand. You don't want to just stick to one price.
Yeah, you don't want to box yourself to that price limit, because based on the brand deals that you're getting, a brand may have a smaller or a bigger budget. So
exactly,
you have to mold yourself constantly.
Yeah. And then you can change your Instagram here. You can, I think every few months, I just come in here, change the followers, and that's the only edit I need for this resume, and the monthly reach as well. So change all of this, add your email here, and you're good to go. Like, you can use this, right? Similarly, let's say I want a different color. So I just clicked on this section. I can just change it up. Maybe you're into reds. This is a weird box. I did not mean to change just that box. Let's just undo that. Okay, now I've selected the entire thing, and I want to make the whole thing red or blue if that's your style. Let's say you are into blue. You want to shift your about. So if you click on this here, you can just move stuff around like that. Similarly, you can just change it up. You can make it bigger, smaller, whatever you need, right? So just play around with it, and you have your creator resume here. And if you don't want to use this template, you can always go to the template section, maybe type something like creator resume. And you have all of that.
That was a template. I would just go about writing resume. I did not know creator resume was so specific. Available in Adobe Express.
Yeah. I think the great part about Adobe Express is I've realized the more you type here, the more specific you are, the better your results, right? For example, all of these people, they're going to be specifically creators, right? Because if you just look at a professional resume, it's going to be completely different. And a lot of times it's not recommended for professionals to have any photos or graphics on the resume when you're applying for a job. So it's definitely different. So yeah.
That's good to know. Yeah. How would you add it as a page, or how would someone add it in their project if they wanted to use this one, for instance?
So the add as a page feature is for a carousel. So if you remember in my previous carousel, I had the first title template and then I had a secondary template.
Yeah.
So the way I got the secondary template is I just add it as a page. And what would happen is this would become page number 2 here.
Yeah.
So if you want to share like a long post, you can do this. But in this case, you just want a separate resume, right? You don't want a carousel of resumes. So you're just going to click on it and you're going to say start new project. And that's just going to give you a whole new thing. And like I said, everything's instantly saved. So that's how you can easily, change things up.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then one other quick thing I wanted to show to replace the images, you can just click on the image, you can hit replace, and you can either upload your own photo. As you can see, it automatically showed me suit men because that's probably what the person who created this template looked up. So I love that you can go through the thinking process. But
kind of creepy, but okay.
Yeah, we can just replace that with suit women.
Why not? Yes, let's do it. Oh, I really love all these images.
Yeah, I love them too. I love the pop of color here.
Yeah, I love that Adobe stock is like directly integrated into Adobe Express. So I can just grab all these images while staying in Adobe Express. So that's cool.
Yep, exactly. You don't have to like go anywhere else. You don't even have to go to any other Adobe apps to get this. It's just like an instant one click away thing, which I love.
What are these crown icons?
So these are for premium members. So Adobe Express also has a free version, and honestly the free version is very cool. It's just that you don't have access to the premium asset, so you wouldn't have access to this photo right here, but you would have access to this one or this one, right?
Okay.
So as a premium member, you obviously get way more benefits, highly recommended, way more features as well. For example, the scheduler works with premium accounts. But if you're someone who wants to try it out, who doesn't really know what they're looking for, try the free version. It is pretty cool too.
Yeah. We have a question on our YouTube chat asking if there are any brands that work with new content creators. Would you have an insight for that?
Yeah, so the website that I mentioned, the app that I mentioned called Apex Drop, it's specifically for small creators. Because it is gifted only, right? When a creator is a big creator, they expect to be paid for their work. But when someone's a small creator, brands may or may not pay you depending on your reach or your, content style. I feel like everybody should be paid, but with Apex Drop, they give you really good gifted products. So sometimes the products are worth it, right? So I would highly recommend Apex Drop. And then the second app that I mentioned, Clara for Creators. And if you don't remember these names, don't worry. The free asset that I'm providing has all the links, like I mentioned. If you just go on there and see the people who have small followers, what brands are they working with? So Clara for Creators also has people with 1,000 followers, 2,000 followers saying, oh, I worked with this brand. And there are some brands who pay them too, right? For example, you get sent a clothing haul and you get paid $100 for every reel that you post. So that's pretty cool. So if you need a list of brand names, just go to Clara for Creators, look at all the creators who are small and working with brands, and reach out to those brands directly with your creator portfolio that you're going to create here or through my template. And that would be very easy to hear back. Because before I had a portfolio, I would type it out. Like I would be like, hi, I'm a tech content creator. I have this much reach. I'm really interested in you, blah, blah, blah. Instead, now I'm just like, hello, would you be interested in collaborating? Like that's the only sentence I write. And then I just send them my portfolio and they can see everything.
That is clever. I love that.
Yeah.
Takes the jargon out of the whole thing. Just straight to the point.
Yeah. And I think that's where the whole side hustle thing comes along. Like you don't have the time, you don't have all day to just sit and hunt for brands. So on the weekend, I would just I would go to Clara for Creators and I would look at the creators that I am following who have gotten paid brand deals, make a list of those brands. And then I would just start DMing them. And in an hour, I'll be done, right? And by then I would have sent out so many messages that over the next week, I would hear back from some of them and start the whole process.
I love it. Yeah.
So yeah, you can replace the image from here, the stock photo, like I said, or you can upload a photo of your own. With a resume, that's obviously what you're gonna be doing. So you can just go through your folders and select whatever works for you. For example, I have an Adobe Live folder here with some of my pictures. So I can just select one of these. And as you can see, this is zoomed out, so I can obviously like change it up. I can add filters, enhancements. I think one really cool feature here is that I can remove the background. I think it
Oh,
would be
that's a
better.
complicated background. I wonder how
Yeah.
Adobe Express. Wow. Yeah, that
Yep.
was quick. That was really nice.
Yeah. And you have, I think this erase tool is for, in case there's some parts of it left or
Mhm.
something, but this was
Yeah.
perfect, right? And
Yeah.
I think this was a terrible background, terrible photo as to use as an example right now.
Yeah. It could
But
go
it worked.
sideways really easily.
Yeah. Yeah. But it worked, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I love that. I just canceled it right now, but that is also something you can use. For example, we had a few headshots here, right? For
Hmm.
example, suit woman here. Like this looks, let's say you have a headshot that looks like that. You can just remove
Yeah.
the background, and it would just get rid of the background much better. I can just click on the yes, and then I can just move it around. I think this looks much cooler than a photo sitting there. I can make it so that it aligns with the black
That
here.
is cool. Yeah. Or
So
maybe
yeah.
you can like add shapes to it, give it like
Mm-hmm.
a rounded edge or whatever, and
Yeah.
have a custom background, which are maybe your brand colors or something. So that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So you can always, edit stuff here. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's pretty cool. That's your creator resume. Let me know if you guys have any questions.
Yeah, we have the links in chat for Anjali's assets and also the links for all the websites. So make sure to click that both on YouTube and on Behance.
Mm-hmm. Great. So for the next project,
Hmm.
let me get out of here, back to my projects. And let's see, we can go through a web page. So now this, I think, is the coolest feature of Adobe Express. And I don't think it's talked about like enough. Like I didn't even know it was a thing, the web page thing, until I just accidentally came across it when I went to the plus icon here, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, for the person who is asking the question about the video,
Hmm.
this plus icon is the way to go through anything, right? So here you can see a video here. So you can just experiment. So that's what I was doing. I was experimenting and I was like, web page, what is that? And
Yeah.
it's an actual web page that you can create instantly. And for those of you who are, who have a side hustle, a side business, or something where you need a website, you
Hmm.
know how complicated it can get. Even though there are really good, website making platforms, you have to, buy the subscription, you have to pay for hosting, you then have to go through all the editing, and it can get complex because it's
Hmm.
so flexible. For this, it's just very straightforward. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to create a website right now and show you instantly. So
Let's
as
do
you
it.
saw, I went through the plus icon and went to web page. This is what I got. I'm going to add a title. It's a portfolio website. So let's just type my name in there. My subtitle can be tech content creator, right? Now here, I'm just going to click here on the background. I can have a short cover like that, or I can just have a longer cover. So I definitely prefer the longer cover. Let's add a photo there instead of the boring gray background. I can have something like that, right?
Hmm.
I can, and by the way, those were also stock photos, the one that I chose. Or
Okay. Yeah.
I can just delete it or replace it here with my own photo. So I'm gonna go to upload photo. I'm gonna click on this image right here,
Hmm.
and it's gonna just replace that
That is
with my
cool.
photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
I love
have,
that it also adds like shadow underneath the text. So the text is legible.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I also like the little scrolling effect it has where the
Hmm.
name kind of scrolls down.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that, and your cover photo is ready, and it took me what, like 10 seconds to do it.
Yeah.
So let's say on my website, I want a lot of photos. Let's say I want a photo grid. And that photo grid could be about, the previous content that I created, or it could be about, let's say my educational history, like I went to this university and then this high school, whatever, right? It could be anything. For now, let's say I want a lot of cat photos. So I can just say
That's
cat.
why you were saying it earlier. And that makes sense now. There's lots of positive feedback in the comments. Cody, Paloma, and 84 Production saying thank you so much. They did not know Express had web pages. So this is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. When I found out, I was like, wow. And there's no limit. I can create like 20 web pages with 20 different links and then just send it to different places depending on the use cases.
Are these all Adobe Express links then, or do you have to host them anywhere from a web page standpoint?
No, they're just Express links. I can show you how to generate the link as soon as we're done with this. And you'll see how easy it is. Yeah. So
I've dived into web pages before, but I don't think I've ever completed one to share a link.
Oh yeah, that always happens to me. Like I wanted to create a website of my own and it took me forever because I would always procrastinate and a lot of those software was really, slow. Like it would just start throttling every time I would try to add even something remotely complicated and it would crash on me. And then there was so many features and so many things to do on there that I would be confused with the color palettes, this, that. With Adobe Express, it's really smart. Like I said, it has everything ready for you, even the stock photos. So it makes the process pretty simple.
Yeah.
So let's say I want these cats on here. And then let's say I also want rats or mouse. I could just add all of those and make a photo grid.
Right? That is so cute.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that is odd.
No, I think it's
just probably the internet. I guess it's just.
Yeah. But nothing happened. We still have the photos.
Yeah.
So, and if it crashed, you still have it all because Adobe saves it in the cloud, but it has never crashed on me. So these are your photos right here. You can just like select a photo, delete it. Let's say I don't like this one. And then let's say I want to really highlight the photo here. I can just make it a large photo and make it small again. So let's say I want 3 small photos and 1 large photo. So I can have it like that. And I can also swap them like that back and forth. I can replace it from here. So just click on replace, find a new photo here, and it would replace it, right?
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah. So very quickly you can, create your website. In fact, if you created a lot of stuff on Adobe Express, like let's say you're an artist, you have a lot of art on here, a digital artist, you can just, upload all your photos and you can display all your art in a huge grid. And that would be your portfolio, right? So now I just saved it and that's it. Like I'm a content creator. This is my art, just cats. And then I can just add a caption here being like cats and 1 mouse.
I think that's a great point that you bring up, that you don't even need an external website or to pay for a domain just to have your portfolio out there. You can just use Adobe Express and web pages.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I love that.
That's a great tip.
Again, you can click on the plus icon. You can add a video here. You can add another photo. You can add a blob of text. I think in the end, maybe everybody wants a contact me button.
Yeah.
And then you can just add your Instagram link here, like Anjali.Gama, Instagram.com/whatever, right? And I can align it in the center and save it. And that's a contact me. Anybody can click on it and it would take them to my Instagram page.
That's cool. A little call to action there as well.
Yep.
What happens if you click on Glide Show? I don't know what that is.
Glide Show.
Yeah. What is this? I've never seen this before. Is this new? Oh.
I haven't tried it either. Let's see.
Maybe we try it now, live.
Okay. Ooh. I think it's like a whole...
It's a vertical slideshow?
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Let's see.
Maybe.
So we have 3
I don't know this term. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That is cool.
Amazing. I love that you brought it up. I'm totally going to use this.
I did not know this is what Glide Show meant, but I'm into it.
I love it. Okay. That's pretty cool. Let's see a preview of what our website looks like.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
I
it's
think the
gonna.
chat is going to love it too. We have like a 30-second delay, so the chat reactions are still coming in.
Oh, okay. Huh. Okay. So
Oh,
let's go to the
okay.
top. We
Yeah.
have my page, and then I have my cat photos with one
Hmm.
mouse, and then ooh, I love
The
that.
reveal.
Yeah. Very cool. And then we have a contact me.
Hmm.
And here is the best part about Adobe, the credits. Like, I love that Adobe's, they really pay special attention. Every
Hmm.
person who clicked a photo, they get credits. Every person who created a template, they get the credits. It's always there, right? And I
Yeah.
love that because I feel like in the digital age, even with especially with AI coming in, a lot of art is stolen. And I really don't like that. Like that should, if someone spends so much time and energy creating something, the least you
Hmm.
can do is credit them, right?
Yeah.
So this, I didn't have to write this down. I just chose the photos that I liked,
Yeah.
and it just, gave credit automatically, saying, okay, this mouse was by this person, this mouse was by that person. And I love that.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, I did not know
Yeah.
about this feature. I don't think I've ever used stock photos in a web page, so that is good to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chat is here for it. Paloma and Cody both think the glide show is super cool. Can
Mhm.
we add text over the glide show photos as well? Is that an option? Can we experiment with that? We have about I want to say 7 minutes to go in the stream. So
Okay.
maybe we can quickly go over that. And if you have anything else like the content scheduler or something else you were talking about earlier, we can dive into that really quick.
Yeah, sure. So for the text, I think you can add text like this.
But not on the
Hello
glide show.
world.
I don't think you can do it on the glide show. Oh,
Uh, I can, so I think one thing I can do here is you can always edit the photos, right?
edit it
So
in
and
something
upload it,
else.
right? So
Yeah,
edit the photo in Adobe Express, add a text on it. That should take you 5 seconds. And then upload it here, right?
yeah.
So that way you'll have a glide photo with text on it.
That is a great hack. Yes,
Yeah,
I love that. I'm here for it. Okay.
awesome. Cool. So that's our website. This
Hmm.
is how you share it. Just click on share. You can say publish and share the link. Immediately, it will give you, it'll generate the whole thing. I can say Anjali Viramgama. I can pick a category. Let's say it's travel. I will leave the photo credits as they are.
Yep.
And I can create the link here.
Hmm.
And it's creating my link, and there it is. Send
Oh,
this
that is
link to
cool.
anyone.
Yeah.
Like, let's say I'm just going into a new window here
Hmm.
and pasting this here. And there's my web page.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do this with the glide show. Indeed.
So people can contact me here.
Yeah.
It would take me to my, if I had pasted the right link, it would take me there. And
Yeah.
people can appreciate it. And
Yep.
you can see how many people viewed it, how many people appreciated it
Okay. Yeah, there's
on
some stats
Express.
involved as well. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So let's say I go to my project here. Um, and in my live, there should be my web page. Here, I have one like and one view, which is my own. So yeah, you can just see the stats right here.
Okay. That's cool. Okay, good to know. Chat is
Okay.
loving it. Paloma says thank you for answering the question.
Yeah, awesome. So last thing I wanted to show you very quickly, let me know if you're out of time, but scheduler. This
Hmm.
is a lifesaver because as someone who doesn't spend full time creating content, I find myself sucked into social media quite often. Like I spend hours on it and then I hate myself for it because I'm like, oh, I'm a creator. I'm not supposed to just consume for hours and hours and scroll through TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So I am strict about when I get to use social media. And
Hmm.
a lot of times I just batch create content. But
Yeah.
the thing with being a creator is you have to log in to post. And this
Yep.
is where it comes in. I can schedule my posts. So this would automatically post up for me. So let's say you want to set up, just connect your Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, whatever you want, right? And let's say you want to post on LinkedIn. I want to post on Friday the 9th on LinkedIn. Right
Hmm.
here, I'm going to click on new post. I'm going to add a media here, which is going to be my photo. The best part about add media is you can directly add media from Adobe Express. So let's say there's something I just created, like this resume right here. I
Yeah.
can click on that and select it, or I can go to my device and upload my own photo, right? So it's going to process that and it's going to upload that at the date and time that you give it. So let's give it a second. Add this to post, and it's going to be here now. Publish date is going to be 9th June. Let's say I want to post it at 5:49 p.m. and I want to add a caption, my new resume.
Hey,
And that's your post. Now,
that's one
as
way to
soon
get
as I
work.
hit schedule, it's exactly 9th June, 5:49 p.m. It's gonna go live. I do not have to worry about it. I do not have to go on social media. It's just gonna happen on its own. And you can preview it here. This is what LinkedIn page looks like, right? And this is what the whole thing is gonna come up as.
That is actually a great idea. Maybe it's like a reminder to people that, hey, this is what I do. If you forgot and if my posts are not coming up on your LinkedIn feed, here's what I do in just one post. And you don't have to go anywhere. Just read it from this image. I love that call to action. Okay, we're about a few minutes left in the stream. So maybe we can do something really quick. We have 4 minutes, like a quick.
Okay, yeah. I can just so one last thing here, you can select draft post. If like I would choose draft post here, because I don't want this up on my LinkedIn, because my LinkedIn is actually connected. And this you can always come back here and edit it if you need. So
yeah. Make sure to use your own photos for your LinkedIn and not a stock photo.
Yes. Yeah. So that was all for my presentation here today. I'm just gonna quickly wrap it up. So I told you about how I started with content creation. These are the perks right here. I showed you how to make carousels, reel covers, and reel covers will be exactly like carousel, just double click, right? And change the font. And then your creator resume, I've shared the template with you. You have a web page, which was the coolest here. And then you have the scheduler where you can schedule your posts. So those were all the tutorials. Since I promised you numbers, these are the numbers. This is how much you can expect to earn. These are the categories you fall into. As soon as you cross 10,000 followers, you'll see a shift in the amount you can charge people. Similarly, as soon as you cross 50, 60,000, you can charge more. And I've seen this personally because when I was under 10,000, it was mostly gifted collabs for me. And if you want to ask for money for any post or anything, which you should, this is basically the range here, and it varies depending on the brand. You can always check Clara for Creators to see how much people are getting paid and then ask for it accordingly. And the last thing is you can always charge more if you're a very niche person. For example, there are way more fashion creators than tech creators. So since there's a lack of tech creators, I can charge more. Similarly, there are very niche fields. If you're like an artist who has a very specific designing style, like you know your worth, right? So you can always charge more than the standards here. So those are the numbers I promised, and that's all I have for today.
That is great. I love the transparency in your content, Anjali. I totally enjoyed learning from you today. Thank you so much for sharing all this statistics. Cody is also loving it. She says this is a great graphic. Thank you. Yeah, I just have that to say. Where can people reach out to you if they have any questions, or where can people follow your content on Medium or Instagram or your website? What's the best way to get in touch?
So my Instagram is going to be anjali.gama, which I kept typing everywhere. It's my first name, anjali.gama. Same with TikTok. For Medium and LinkedIn, you can just look up my full name, which is Anjali Viramgama, and it should pop up. And I'll add the links to connect to me in the free asset that I shared with you.
Okay, perfect. We have those links in the chat as well. I think we have about a couple of minutes here. So maybe we can point to some templates in Adobe Express before we do the wrap up.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds good. Actually, I did have like one thing that I think we missed, which was basically the reel cover that I showed, right?
I don't think we may have time for that, but let's just like point people how they can look at templates or just do reel covers, for instance.
Yeah. So for reel covers, right? You just go and select a story template here. And this would be the same size as an Instagram story or a reel. And you can always, expand this and get all of these templates. And I love that there's all these options. So let's say you're having a sale in your business, just go to sales and promotions and you get a specific template that says, 20% off. This is my website, all of that, right? And you already saw how to edit it. Just double tap the image, replace it. Double click on the font, replace it. Go through the color palette, change the colors up, and the template is yours, you know.
I love that. Thank you so much, Anjali, for all the information that you shared with us today with starting your own side hustle, the graphics, the statistics, and also using Adobe Express for facilitating all of this. Thanks so much for joining us. And thanks so much, chat, both on YouTube and Behance. It was really active chat with a lot of questions. Stick around for another episode of Office Hours up next with Andrew and Nick. We're going to learn how to recycle content, which is very in line with what we're doing today. So make sure to stick around for that on our YouTube. But thanks so much, Anjali, and thanks so much, everyone, for joining. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Thank you.